I had a young kid come in a couple weeks ago who was really struggling with digestive issues. It had gotten to the point that the mom actually took him to the emergency room because of how bad the discomfort in his stomach was. They looked at a couple things but really couldn't figure out what was going on, so they ended up in our office so that we could take a closer look. Now, anytime we're dealing with stomach issues, one of the first things we actually look at is an x-ray to see exactly what's going on in the gut. It doesn't tell us a bunch of specifics, but we can see if there's a lot of inflammation, bloating, gas, backed up stool, things like that. And this kid had a lot of stuff going on. So as you can see, we had a lot of gas and inflammation and stuff going on in the front. If we look at the side or the front view, you can see almost that entire large intestine, just how unhappy that gut is. So the first thing we did was we ran a stool test. Now, when we got the results of the stool test back, it kind of confirmed what we already expected. We had a ton of dysbiosis and digestive issues that were going on. There was a huge bacterial overgrowth happening here, which is what was creating a lot of that gas and bloating. We also had a bunch of methane-producing bacteria, which a lot of times is implicated in things like SIBO. When we look at his digestion, we're not breaking our proteins down at all, so we know that there's some stomach acid deficiencies. We know that there's going to be some stress response happening there as well. The immune system was completely depleted here, and we had some opportunistic bacteria, and we were missing some of the good bacteria. So despite what this patient had been told by his other doctors in the emergency room, there wasn't nothing going on. It's just that they couldn't figure out what was happening using the tools that they had at their exposure. When we actually ran the functional stool test, we found that quite the opposite. There was a lot of digestive issue, there was a lot of bacterial overgrowth, and that's what was causing a lot of his symptoms. So if we want to get the symptoms to go away, we've got to work at getting rid of the underlying issues. In this case, it starts with increasing stomach acid, decreasing stress levels, and working to get rid of some of those opportunistic infections so that his body can kind of take a step back, we can take some stress off the immune system, and his gut can start to function the way it was designed.